everyone's throwing their hat in on the fucking Ukraine-Russia thing. The Ukraine-Russia thing, you know, everyone's throwing their hat in the fucking ring. Everyone's got an opinion.
It's become like the new Michael versus LeBron.
It's the new Michael versus LeBron. Everyone's got an opinion. There's a lot of people who, new school. They're very much for Ukraine. That's like LeBron. And then you got the people who are, shut the fuck up. And then you got the other people who are a little more old school who watched Russia during the Cold War, and they go, look, that was the greatest of all time. The former Soviet Union, that's the GOAT. And they're like, no, look, Russia's LeBron. Like, listen, he's a little, he distributes the ball a little bit more, you know? So it's a big thing. This could go on for another 20 years. I don't see an end in sight. But I do know that probably a couple of 100,000 Russians are dead. They like to die.
Mm-hmm.
They're good at it.
Mm-hmm.
The way Kenyans can do marathons, Russians could die.
Die real quick.
If dying was a sport in the Olympics, Russians would dominate, dude.
And they will still get caught for doping.
They would get caught for doping, and they would dominate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're the best at dying. They just history. You look at history, you could always throw about 1 million Russians at death, and they're just gone. Somehow this isn't a civil war, right? I guess Ukraine and Russia, I guess their languages are a little different. I don't know anything about Ukraine's perspective because I live in America. I'm not a foreign affairs expert. I'm not a geopolitical expert. I do know that Ukraine's upset about it, right?
I don't think they are.
Do you think they're happy that Russia invaded them?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, because you're like, they like to get hit, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Some countries like to get hit, just like some girls like to get choked. I think they're happy about it.
Yeah, it's some extra demolition that they didn't have to pay for.
I think that's what the media's hiding from us. I think they're keeping that secret from us. See, that's the thing. The people who are blaming Ukraine and NATO, they know something that the mainstream media is not telling us, and that is that Ukraine is into S&M. Ukraine, some people like it.
Yeah.
Some people like it. Zelensky is a deviant. And the Ukrainians, as culturally, they're deviant. Okay? They like to get a little vodka in them, and they like to get bombed. Some people like to get bombed. They like to get their condos blown out.
Mm-hmm.
It turns them on. Ukrainians are turned on by this. Yeah. So that's the message that the mainstream media won't tell us. And the reason they won't tell us that is because they're prude. They're fucking prude. It's the Protestant. It's the whole Protestant repressive thing, right? What do they call that? The Protestant work ethic, the American thing that we have in us, the prudishness. We don't like talking about sex. We don't like affairs. We don't like sex out of marriage. So we don't talk about it in the media because Ukraine is kinky. They're getting smacked by Russia, and they like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's making them hard.
Yeah, and their safe word is Crimea.
Zelensky wakes up every day with a heart on. When those bombs go off, they go, yeah.
Yeah, there's nipple tassels under that sweatshirt.
Yeah, I can't get hard unless you blow up my city. Drone bomb Kiev. And listen, that's what they're doing. That's why we don't understand. We can't understand this conflict between Ukraine and Russia because they're enjoying it. They're both enjoying it. You've seen Russians in Brighton Beach. Are they poets? They're not poets. They're always scary tracksuit mafia guys. They like violence. They're enjoying this. Mm-hmm. Why are we, judging it? And also the people, look, I understand. People are upset. We're spending tax dollars to send them stuff. And you're like, should we be doing that? I get that. But if you love Russia and you don't want them to hurt Russia with those, don't worry. Russia likes it. So it's almost like,
mm-hmm.
It's like, it's like 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
It's like saying to that chick, it's like showing that chick the whips. She's going, yeah, thank you that the whips are there. I want the whips. I'm into it. That's what these people like to do. Look, they're not Greeks. I mean, what do you want from me? These are barbarian people. They like to fight. I judge everything through the filter of civilization and democracy and Aristotle's brain because I'm a Greek. I'm from antiquity. I'm the grandson of a slave. At the end of the day, you know, the question is, are we slut shaming Ukraine? Are we blaming Ukraine
Mm-hmm.
for being hot? Right?
They're a commodity. Everyone wants
Because
them.
Russia did attack. But was Ukraine asking for it? That's the question. What do you think? Was Ukraine asking for it? Was Ukraine out alone? Was Ukraine walking in a bad neighborhood? Was Ukraine wearing something it shouldn't have been wearing? That's my question.
Mm.
You know how it is.
I feel like
Your mom and parents, you always tell you,
yeah,
don't go out late, be careful, be aware of your surroundings.
be home before the street light comes
Like
on.
you don't want to be on the border with Russia. You know what I mean? Find a new place. You don't want to be right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know that's a dangerous spot.
You know what I think it is? I think Ukraine and Russia used to date, and Russia said, listen, you can do whatever you want, just don't talk to any of my friends.
Right.
And then Russia found out that Ukraine was DMing Crimea and NATO, and he was like, all right, fuck it.
So Russia's a jealous boyfriend.
Yeah.
This happens all the time. This happens all the time, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, listen, countries, you have to
Get a restraining order.
you have to
on
speak
other
out.
countries.
You can't stay in these abusive relationships.
Yes.
Get a restraining order. Get out. Tell friends. You know, the cycle of trauma, it's bad. You're trauma bonding. This is trauma bonding.
Mm-hmm.
You're dating a covert narcissist or a malignant narcissist. I think Ukraine has a lot to learn. I think they can grow from this. I think this will ultimately be good
Yeah.
for Ukraine.
They're going to end up dating Switzerland next.
Look, when I look back at my personal growth, I had to go through a lot of bad things.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of look like Russia's invasion of Ukraine, their bombing of cities and killing of people is it's necessary growth. Ukraine's got to look itself in the mirror and go, why did this happen? Why? I'm going to get the positive out of this. I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to be a better country when this is done.
Yeah.
You know? So I understand. So we don't exactly know why Russia invaded the Ukraine. Okay? There's theories. All we have is theories.
It's floating out there.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now listen. I already asked the Wizard of Oz. Now, if someone had a sense of humor, they would have called ChatGPT the Wizard of Oz. Because you remember the Wizard of Oz was like behind the curtain, could answer all fucking things or whatever.
And it just turned out to be some white dude.
Yeah, that would have been funny if it was. Or listen, Ask Jeeves is funnier than ChatGPT. ChatGPT is not a great name. Anyway, so I asked already, and I love how also politically correct ChatGPT is. Because I said, why do Kenyans win marathons? Right? Because I wanted to see what ChatGPT would say. And they were like, they went all in. They went, it's important not to say that a certain group, it's that individuals and culture, there's a complex history of culture. And
okay. You got the wrong version of ChatGPT, though.
what do you got?
There's different ChatGPTs for different races. I got the black one.
Oh,
Yeah, I asked my ChatGPT if OJ murdered his wife, and they said that's
They
what
said,
they want
nah.
you to believe.
that would be funny if there was ChatGPTs based on culture. That would be very funny. And it answered the way you want?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Okay, why did Russia invade Ukraine? Okay. And if you put this in black chat GPT, it'd be like, how come them white boys up there in the north are killing them other white boys? Okay, but the white chat GPT answers, the situation regarding Russia's actions in Ukraine is complex and multifaceted. No, it's not. I listened to a College Dropouts podcast the other day, and he said clearly this is because NATO wants to expand. That's the deal here. It's NATO's fault. It's NATO's fucking fault for wearing that goddamn dress and being out at 2 a.m. It's NATO's fault. It's NATO's fault for antagonizing Putin.
Yeah.
Now, Putin also did invade Georgia in 2014. But who the fuck cares about Georgia, dog? Georgia's not as sexy as Ukraine, right? It's kind of like, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but Ukraine is kind of like Natalie Holloway. Natalie Holloway.
Yeah.
Like that Patrice O'Neill bit. and Georgia is just some big-headed third world bitch
Mm-hmm.
that nobody cares about. So I'm just trying to give analogies for people to help understand the Ukraine-Russian crisis.
No, you're right. It's not even the most famous Georgia out there.
Right. But yeah, it's just we live in a funny world now. It's funny. It's a funny world because everyone has like strong, assertive, certain opinions
About
on
something
very
that
complex issues.
I have no background about.
No background, no experience.
Mhm.
A lot of these people haven't even fucking left Manhattan. I mean, and you're going to give me your opinion on Israel and Palestine? You know? It's just very funny. But it's because we have this mechanism now where everyone can throw their fucking opinion out, you know? So they do it. And there's a lot of people who are also dumb who receive the opinion. And sometimes it's easier for those people there's a lot of those people, and they connect with people as stupid as them more than they do with someone who's smart. So I get why that happens. It's almost like a paradox. Like you want experts and stuff and smart people and people who have experience and who understand nuance and the complexities and multifaceted like ChatGPT. You want to know all this stuff and how maybe there's not right and wrong answers here and it's a tough call. If you do this, then bad, and there's trade-offs. But if you don't get in, it could be bad for this reason, economic reasons. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You want that, but who's going to understand those people when they talk? Right?
Nobody.
But if you listen to fucking Glenn Beck, he gives it to you with a chalkboard. He throws up a chalkboard. He goes, okay, here's Russia over here. And he draws like a bottle of vodka. And he goes, okay, here's Ukraine over here. Bottle of vodka, but with the sombrero on because they're the same but different. So it's like someone like that can make it easier for you. And I get that.
Yeah.
And that's why you're listening to me right now. And I'm going to explain it to you. I'm going to explain to you because I know why Russia-Ukraine happened. I'm going to explain it to you.
Yeah, you're the Dr. Seuss of geopolitical warfare.
I'm going to solve it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to solve it right now. And I'm going to solve it by just saying, stop. Putin, stop. Stop what you're doing. And Zelensky, stop it. Okay? Guys, knock it off.
And buy a suit.
Let's solve this the way we should solve all problems from here on in. Okay? With a Dana White approved, sponsored slap fight between Zelensky and Putin. How funny is it that nobody wants to see that shit, but Dana White just keeps posting it? He does not care. I have never seen bigger cognitive dissonance in my entire life.
Yeah.
Like all the comments to slap, what's it called? Slap fest or slap shot?
Slap boxing, something like that.
Have you seen this? It's not a sport, dude. It's a guy stands helplessly with his hands behind his back while another guy smacks him in the face. And the whole point is to see if the guy passes out.
That's not special, dude.
Dude, and everyone hates it and nobody's watching it and he just keeps pumping it.
Yeah,
Because
bro.
he's the owner of it. Look, he owns it.
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
like he can't admit that it's stupid. Like it's called power slap.
It is stupid. If I wanted to see that, I just watch my parents after dinner.
Here's the funny thing. It's not slap fighting. Right? Slap fighting would be like boxing with slaps.
Organized slap fight.
It is hostage hitting.
Yeah.
It is hostage hitting.
It's measured CTE.
It is hostage hitting,
Yeah.
dog. You're going, okay, this guy's a hostage, and his hands are tied behind his back. You can basically go, tell me where the secrets are. And the guy goes, I don't know. And then this guy just winds up and fucking hits this helpless guy.
Yeah, and over time, they waterboard each other.
It's a good tweet. It's not slap fighting. It's hostage hitting. All right. So I just was trying to remember a tweet I thought of before. Oh yeah. Well, what I wanted to say, I was going to put it in a Sean Terry video, but I was going to say, Sean Terry would say, fucking going back, a lot of the people that they said died of COVID, they didn't fucking die of COVID. All right. You know why he fucking died? They died from fucking heartbreak because Biden had the election stolen from them. They didn't account for that. People went into fucking cardiac arrest once they found out that they actually stole the fucking election from Donald Trump. It was fucking traumatic. So people died from fucking trauma. I know that's how my 15 fucking granduncles died. I'll fucking throw that on a video on the gram anyway. Because I fight fire. I fight fire with fire. And I get it. I root for the fucking Jets. and I drink cold fucking beer. And so a lot of those COVID deaths were marked as COVID, but really he died of heartbreak because Donnie T lost the election. You can't tell me this isn't a fucking top-notch podcast. You can't tell me this is not top-notch comedy podcast here.